songs of Martin Page, all day, all night, forever. So grab a cup of tea, settle down with us in the Owl's Nest. I'll be there in a minute. Actually, I'm here right now. This is Martin Page, and this is Radio Owl's Nest. Thank you for joining me. This is the place you come to hear all my songs. Yes, egocentric Mr. Page here will play you all the demos from my past, some new songs from the future, and some tracks probably from the middle of my career. Songs from the mists of time, songs from my suitcase, songs from my vaults. It does sound quite creepy, doesn't it? Songs from the vault. It does sound quite creepy. I think it's the right time to play you a brand new song. A song about the last vampire ever discovered in America. And there's a gentleman who's going to talk just like me, from my part of the country, about Mercy Brown.
In 1892, the body of 19-year-old Mercy Brown was exhumed from a Baptist church cemetery in Exeter, Rhode Island. Her body was surprisingly well preserved, a fact that led locals to believe that she wasn't truly dead. This is the story of Mercy Lena Brown, and although chilling and bizarre in nature, it's just one story among many like it that span over 100 years.
So here, my friends, is the story of Mercy Brown.
There's a rumor going around, there's a curse upon the town, and Mercy Brown has come back from the dead. Oh, they found old Reverend Judd, his body drained of blood. Now none of us rest easy in our beds. 'Twas 100 years ago, for crimes against the soul, they dug her from the earth to prove her dead. When open was her grave, oh, they all looked on amazed, for all this time her body had not aged. And when the thunder quake, oh, bloody eyes did awake, and from the grave she was heard to say, I'm Mercy Brown, come back to drag you down to hell, the curse of Mercy Brown. Now all was shocked to see, and none they could believe. Beneath the shroud, Mercy's heart still beats. For the plague upon the town, one remedy was found. Cut out her heart and burn it to be free. So on that winter's night, oh, they all held back their fright, for sacrifice was only on their minds. And as the full moon rises, oh, the priest brought down his knife, and up from hell there came an awful cry. Ah, Mercy Brown, come back to drag you down to hell, the curse of Mercy Brown. Shake your bucket and souls, can you hear her rattling bones? Mercy Brown, yeah, Mercy Brown's come home. Black cats and garrets and groans, can you hear her rattling bones? Mercy Brown, yeah, Mercy Brown's come home. For those who stole his sleep, God pray their souls to keep, for they'll forever reap her revenge. For it is the devil's word, oh, there is no earthly cure. Now they must follow her as the walking dead. Ah, Mercy Brown, come back to drag you down. If you're
Mercy Brown was the last exhumed corpse in what would become known as the Vampire Panic of New England.
Ah, thank you, my West Country pal, for telling us that story about Mercy Brown. I had a lot of fun writing that song. I was going through a folk phase, you can probably tell, and I picked up the acoustic guitar and wrote a bunch of songs that had that folklore feel about them. And reading the story of Mercy Brown, I thought, yes, there's a vampire tale that needs to be told. You can probably hear a lot of influences like Mungo Jerry. I was really into Mungo Jerry when I was growing up in England. That band that had In the Summertime as their hit. A lot of jug music was Mungo Jerry's sound, and Ray Dorset was a great lead singer. I can remember buying their record. Yes, it was on Dawn Records. So I always remember the labels and the colours, a yellow, I believe. And I really got off on that jug music sound. My God, there's someone at the door. That could be Mercy Brown. I need to hide. No, that was just the mailman there, but as it proves, it's a live show. So there you have it, a brand new song called Mercy Brown. A lot of fun, raw and ready. And I remember I was playing kazoos on that song in the chorus, so that very famous, anybody can play instrument, the kazoo. Mercy Brown.
Hi, this is Trevor Thornton here, the unfortunate drummer behind Q-Phil. It's all right, I'm still recovering in the asylum. I'll get better. Thank you for your sympathy.
No sympathy, Trevor. You chose the gig. You wanted to join the band. You wanted the girls. You wanted the cash. You wanted the drugs. You wanted the success. So, Trevor, no sympathy at all. What do you think this is, a charity? Charity. Here's a song of mine called Love Resurrection from my 2015 album, Hotel of the Two Worlds.
I've been dreaming about those diamond days when love was on our mind. I've been thinking about our state of affairs and the peace that we can't find. All the hate and all the pain, all the suffering we feel. I've been dreaming of a better way to get back to what's real. For if there's something in this world we really need, it's a love resurrection. Love resurrection. Love resurrection. Love resurrection. Love. Is there a law that I don't know about that says we cannot love? Is there a law that I don't know about that says we gotta hurt? But I've been praying, hey, I'm waiting for the light of another day. And I've been walking down Hope Avenue and wishing all the way. But if there's something in this world we really need, it's a love resurrection. Yeah, resurrection. Love, sweet salvation. Resurrection. Love, and I am bending down upon my knees to play for a love resurrection. Love, resurrection. Love. Now I've been thinking about our state of affairs, how we can work it out. I've been feeling all those negative vibes that make us fear and doubt. But if I fall and if I stumble, if I reach out for the light, there's a love that I can depend upon to get me through the night. If there's something in this world we really need, it's a love resurrection. Love, a resurrection. Love, sweet salvation. Resurrection. Love, and I will bend down on my knees and I will pray for a love resurrection. Love, a resurrection. Love, say it. Love, 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 gotta love, love. Oh, connection, love, resurrection, love. I will bend down on my knees and I will plead for a love, resurrection, love, a resurrection, love, sweet salvation, resurrection, love. People, till I'm on my knees. It's for love, yeah, resurrection. I'm on my knees. It's for love. Come on, say love, 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 gotta love, love. Oh, love, 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 gotta love, love. Oh, love, 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 gotta love, love. For if there's something in this world with a real name, yeah, it's a love, a resurrection, love, a sweet salvation, love, a resurrection, for love, yeah, for love. I'm on my knees. Sweet salvation, a resurrection, for love. Oh, we need a resurrection. I'm on my knees. Sweet salvation, a resurrection, baby, for love. I'm on my knees. For love, for love, love. Oh, I'm on my knees.
I'm on my knees. Very fond memories of recording that song. I remember I'd bought a Gibson ES335 electric guitar, and it reminded me of my early days when I was playing with a band called Bronx back in Bristol, one of my first professional bands. And the guitarist, I must give a shout out to, a good friend of mine, Brian Allen, he played that guitar. So when I was trying to get back into the soul, I thought I must buy a vintage Gibson ES335, lovely wine red coloured guitar. One of my all-time treasures. So that was Love Resurrection from 2015 solo album of mine, Hotel of the Two Worlds. And as I've said before, there was a Hotel of the Two Worlds in Paris in the 19th century, which was haunted. Oh my goodness, we're back to Mercy Brown again, aren't we? I have to remember this is a songwriter's podcast, so my memories of Love Resurrection, if you're at all interested, I remember I was listening to a lot of Marvin Gaye, and in the 70s, late 60s, I was buying in England those Motown Chartbusters albums, and I lived off of those records. And so when I was writing Love Resurrection, I was thinking, Motown, Motown, Motown. And what actually is better than...
The universe is a very strange place, full of mysteries and odd possibilities that, while scientists ceaselessly try to figure them out, may remain complete unknowns forever.
Motown! That's what I was trying to say. This is a live show. That was a mistake. A fader was left up and a scientific gentleman popped his head in. So, back to the song, Love Resurrection. I remember playing the bass on that track. Listening now, it's lovely to play a bass that I brought across from England, from my Bronx days, a bass called a Pro Aria number 2 bass, and bending and sliding and doing the trills on that bass guitar was a joy. And the title, Love Resurrection, I think every day of the week we need a resurrection of love. Well, thank you for agreeing with me, and I think it's a pretty good time to go back into... thank you, Igor. My God, you're a very large man, but thank you for being with me through all these Radio OwlsNest shows and opening the door to the vault, songs from the misty past. I'm very happy to find this song. I'd lost it. I had no idea if it was on a cassette, on a DAT, on an old tape reel, where it was hidden. But it did appear recently on a cassette, and it's a song called Lifeline. And I wrote this song with the great songwriter John Lind. So the story behind this, I'd just come into LA in the 80s, and my manager-to-be, Diane Poncher, had sent me some tracks in England of John Lind's. And my God, the demos were fantastic. He was working with Earth, Wind & Fire at that time. And I thought, that's real music. It would be wonderful to learn from this gentleman. And so we got together, and John played incredible Rhodes piano. He had a great sense of chords and a terrific singer, falsetto particularly, all-round talented guy. And here I was from England with the new pop sound, and the two of us got together in his house and we wrote this song, Lifeline, a very emotional piece of music, really. I remember that John was playing the chords, and I just sat next to him and sang these melodies, and he'd look at me now and then and say, "That's a good one," and words just popped out into the air. And eventually we took the idea of Lifeline, which we recorded on a cassette at first, back to my house where I had a Fostex 8-track in my living room. John moved his Fender Rhodes into my living room. He played the basic track, and then I did the bass, and he sang the lead vocal, and we did harmonies together, and I played the solo on the synths. It was a wonderful, wonderful mixture, I think, of my newness to the whole picture, John's great musical sensibility, and a very spiritual lyric, really. So anyway, I'll tell you a bit more about it, but here's a very, very rare demo, song called Lifeline.
No longer standing in the shadow, I cast my ship out on the sea. My sails are filled with pure emotion. My journey leads to me. The moon is right, a new beginning. I found a place to start. The sun will greet me as I'm leaving for my adventures of the heart. And I'll follow my lifeline, go straight to the heart. Look for the skyline, I know it's not far away. I'll follow my lifeline, go straight to my heart. Another lifetime is never too far away. No sign of life upon this island, so I'll continue with the wind. I'll set my course for new horizons. Where will my journey end? And if I hear the sirens calling to break my spirit on the rocks, I'll turn away and keep on sailing for my adventures of the heart. And
That's an 8-track demo, a song called Lifeline that I wrote with John Lind back in the 80s. And it was done on a 1/4-inch Fostex 8-track. That's why it sounds a bit crappy, as they would say these days. But analog tape still has something special going on. And that was taken from a cassette mix of that. So please excuse all the roughness, which I think sometimes adds to the whole picture and makes it a little bit even more special. I'm sure you songwriters and musicians out there know what I'm saying. What can I add? I can add that there was a Lind drum that I had in the house, so that drum machine, which is mixed quite loud without any compression. Lovely analog stuff. That was a Lind drum. And looking back now, and I haven't heard this song for a long time, you can hear that I'm trying to do all those David Paich Toto kind of keyboard lines. Yes, I was a great fan of Toto at that time, and the solo is me on a Jupiter 8 trying to be a Toto kind of person. But that's Lifeline, and I was quite amazed. It's never been cut by anybody, and yet looking back now, I can see that, to me, it has a Christopher Cross kind of sailing thing about it, and I thought, I wish I could have played that to Christopher Cross. Anyway, from the vault, keep following your Lifeline. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. It's quite a surprise when you're playing around in your musical computer and you dial in the wrong title, and up comes a demo of a song you thought you didn't have a demo of. And a demo appeared on my computer called Karma. Yes, Karma. Can we just push the creaking door, just a little bit wider open, please? Yes, in my musical computer, right there in the depths, by making a mistake on the old typing, a demo appeared. It said Karma. Now that eventually turned into a song called Everything You Do on my second solo album, In the Temple of the Muse. So when I was first writing it, it was obviously called Karma. And this is a bit of a discovery because it is the original demo of that song. Now, Everything You Do, Karma, eventually was recorded by me, as I said, on the Temple of the Muse album back in 2008, and also Mickey Thomas and Starship recorded a version of that on a Greatest Hits album for Starship. So it's got a big history, but I absolutely thought I didn't have the demo. And listening back to it now, I can hear it's really quite different. A lot of things that I was building and getting towards, like guitar parts and drum parts and choir parts, they're hinted at, but they're not on this version, and it's an early vocal of mine. But anyway, quite thrilling to find, and you might enjoy it as well. This is the demo of Karma.
Everything you do it for love. Everything you say with love. Yeah, yeah. Time you look for love, and every time you see with love. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love is all we need. Yeah, 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 yeah. Love is all.
surprise? That's an incredible... I think I'm going to have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
Yes, I think I have to agree. That is a bit of a surprise for me. You make a mistake on your musical computer, you dial in the wrong letters, and up comes a demo that you absolutely thought you didn't have. That's Karma, which turned into a song called Everything You Do, in brackets, Karma. And that doesn't have the choir on the end. That has all different scats on it. There's no crash chords. It's a different lead vocal take, different drop-ins. And as I said, there's no medieval choir sort of taking us out at the end. And the drum programming, the kick drum is slightly different. I'm trying to remember all this. So it was really quite fun to find the first time that I demoed this song. I do remember it brought back the memories that I sang that vocal on a very famous veteran microphone called a B&K mic, a very thin, expensive veteran microphone that the Blue Nile, the Scottish band, turned me on to. Originally designed to test gas in industrial buildings, but it was so... And actually, I know that NASA uses it, and they're using it now, I think, on Mars to record sounds in space. So I do know that I used the B&K very, very finely tuned microphone on this demo Karma that turned into Everything You Do from my album In the Temple of the Muse, 2008. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Music. It seems to be that time again. Yes, that time that I'm sure one or two of you, and probably is just one or two of you, I've been waiting for. The wisdom of Bootsy, the cat that resides in ironing board music offices. His great wisdom is demanded by millions of people that are suffering throughout the world. Suffering with their questions about life. Bootsy has been for the last few episodes putting people right, telling them what they should be doing, what they should be thinking. So I've just dipped my hand and pulled a letter out of the mailbag. Millions of letters of human beings suffering out there, and we're going to get Bootsy involved. So this is time for
The Wisdom of Bootsy.
And today's question comes from Lord Barrington of Snobbington Palace, Mayfair, London.
Bootsy, my fellow, I've always enjoyed making people feel inferior to me. But recently, I've lost the thrill of making people grovel. What can I do?
A vast universe of metaphysical truth lies undiscovered. Yet I'm supposed to be placated by chasing a little bit of string. Or is that the catnip speaking?
The Wisdom of Bootsy.
Yes, I suppose so. Well, I hope that answered Lord Barrington's question, and Bootsy will be back next episode to save pathetic humanity's ass yet again. 'Tis the call of the wild, and I think I'm going to play you a pretty wild track. A track from my 2018 instrumental album, The Amber of Memory. One of my favourite tracks on the album, particularly when I was recording it, the energy and the spontaneity of recording that track was something that I can still remember as being pretty vibrant. This is a song called Chanyata. It's the central important teaching of the Buddha about voidness and emptiness and liberation from the cycle of existence. So here is Chanyata. That's a track called Chanyata from my 2018 instrumental album, The Amber of Memory. In the spirit of Weather Report, I remember recording the low bass notes and the melodies on a sub-fatty Moog synthesizer, a fantastic keyboard, and playing the live percussion because it was an interesting 6/4 time signature. I also recall I was doubling all those mini Moog lead lines with a vocal. And on that album, The Amber of Memory, I was really investigating reverbs and echoes and the emotion of space, ambience itself. You know, when I think about the caves of Lascaux, how it must have been to be in those caves when the prehistoric paintings were being made, you get a sense of that mythical power of ambience. So that's Chanyata from my album, The Amber of Memory.
Here are true facts about the owl. Baby owls are called owlets, and they look like a cotton ball that grew a face and legs. Owlets are born without flight feathers, and because they are vulnerable, they camouflage themselves as Muppets.
No, don't you just love those furry little balls with wings? Yes, I suppose we do. But in my studio here, I have just found a mouse running past me at high speed, and I had been hearing little crackles in the attic at night, so I have a companion mouse. What do you do? Yes, scream. Is that all you can do? Well, screaming isn't going to help, is it? This mouse is going to eat all through the wires of the studio. What can I do? Yes, call the fire brigade. Churchill, I need you now. Well, I have a mouse in the house, and that has happened live on radio. So I think what we have to do is play a song, don't you? So while I organise myself, put on my mouse gear, And panic, panic, panic. I'm going to play you a song from the past, a song that's never been heard, a demo that's never been heard from the 90s, a song called How Do I Get Over You? Very average white band.
Same old street where we would meet, hoping I'll hear you call my name. The guitar cries from somewhere night, tearing my heart into sweet notes so blue. Remind me you're not I still feel us dancing slow. How do I get over you when your kiss still melts my soul? Tell me, what can I do when every night I still reach for your touch? How do I get over you? I still feel us making love. Passing time can't heal my mind under a lonely moon. Every thought of you is killing me deep inside. How do I get over you? I still feel us dancing slow. How do I get over you? How do I get over you when your kiss still melts my soul? Tell me, what can I do when every night I still reach for your touch? How do I get over you? How do I get over you? I still feel us making love, and the night pours into my bones like a pain that won't let go. Wondering where you are, and I fall apart, just wishing on a star. Slow. How do I get over you? Get over, baby, when our kiss still melts my soul. Tell me, what can I do when every night I still reach for your touch? Baby, how do I get over you? How do I get over when I still feel us making love? How will I ever get over you?
Well, that calmed me down a touch from seeing that mouse run by me and actually give me the middle finger. Very scary. Well, not really scary, but like, I thought I lived alone. I'm 6'2" and I was a professional soccer player, and that made me go, oh my god. Well, I have a companion mouse. I must find a humane way to say, please leave my house promptly, and please don't eat through my studio wires. Anyway, the song, never been played before, How Do I Get Over You? A ballad I wrote back, I think, yes, in the 90s, and very influenced by the, as I said, Gino Vanelli and Average White Band, and that beautiful... That's not supposed to be there. No, that's a fader that's up. And that's not supposed to be there. Yes, I'm an average DJ, so all the wrong faders are up. Anyway, let's get back to How Do I Get Over You. I did a little guitar solo in that song, as you can hear. That's not supposed to be there either. Bollocks. I'm having a bad day in the studio. A mouse running by, and then all the... Thank you. Thank you. I am about to get pissed off. Please. Everybody control themselves, including me. How Do I Get Over You? A ballad, a soul ballad. I was trying to say that I played a guitar solo, thinking of the Isley Brothers when they did those great soul songs. No laughter. We're okay. And they had that sort of Jimi Hendrix vibe going on. Anyway, maybe on Poetry of Collisions Volume 2, we may hear the rare demo, How Do I Get Over You? And here's a song of mine called Never From My Heart, from 2017, an album called The Slender Sadness, The Love Songs.
What's the chances you meet someone who lifts your face toward the sun? Got me thinking, what would I do without you? Why go on? What's the meaning? Look in your eyes, there's the reason. Got me thinking, what would I do without you? Fold back the sky, feel our love burning all through time, like a blood red lullaby, never from my heart, never from my heart. Took a drive toward the sea, looked in the distance at the mystery. It's got me thinking, every road I've taken leads to you. Fold back the sky, feel our love burning all through time, like a blood red lullaby, never from my heart. You're never from my heart. My love for you is never from my heart. Moon in the water, you sleep inside me deep and still. You're in my veins like the sun, light in the rain. Tonight I kiss your eyes. Come the time the deal goes down, there's only one I wanna ride. Got me thinking I wouldn't be here without you. Fold back the sky, feel from my heart. Never from my heart. Never from my heart. Never from my heart. My love for you is never from my heart. You're never from my heart.
That's a song called Never From My Heart, track 9 on an album of mine called The Slender Sadness, The Love Songs. I have fond memories of that track, the slap bass. At first I had a synth bass on there, but I thought, no, we've got to get a bit of Louis Johnson going on there and slap the bass, and plugged in the old Telecaster and did some volume pedal lines. Fold back the sky like a blood red lullaby. Yes, some of those lyrics I'm quite pleased with. So that's Never From My Heart. P.S. Quite proud I played live drums on that. The tea is boiling, signifying we're coming to the end of the show, but do we have time for a quote of the day? Yes, we do. Let's make it work. Quote of the day. And the quote comes from Plato, The Republic. Astronomy compels the soul to look upwards and leads us from this world to another. And by God, we sometimes have to escape this world, don't we? I love looking at the stars. Thank you, Plato. Well, it's the end of the show, and I've had a great time. I hope you have as well. Thank you, all you loyal OwlHeads, for joining me so consistently on this very strange radio show. I have to say, please look after all the animals in the world. Be compassionate, be kind, because we have domain over all those innocent creatures. And look on the bright side of life, and I will see you again soon in the Owl's Nest. Bye-bye.